Let's jump into this in some detail then. We've already installed Sierra charts and we have put the DTI indicator on the chart. We've looked at how to use custom studies and what all these tools are at the top, and we're now a bit more familiar. So let's just go a bit further and start customizing things a bit more, and specifically customize the way that DTI looks. So let's just say, for instance, that these overlays here, you don't really like the color of these, you want to change those. Let's go and do that. So the overlays are actually a custom study. They are my two modes studies, and for now I'm not going to go into the code behind what they're doing. So for example, if you look at the buy mode and if you click on the alerts tab, then this is what it's doing. We'll go into that in the next tutorial, try and figure out what it is that it's doing and how to break it down. Okay. All we're going to do now is try and figure out how to change the color of it. So maybe we want that to be a lighter red, and this one needs to be a lighter green. Okay, so that's the goal. Let's go and have a look. So we'll do the first one, which is the red overlay, which is the cell mode for us. So that's this one here. Okay, and to get to this chart studies, I just right clicked on the screen and then press studies, and it brings that up. Okay, so let's double click on the cell mode, and it should probably bring up the settings and inputs tab. If you want to rename that, you can rename it there, and you'll see that I've got 2000 bars to calculate here. You can increase that if you want to by changing it down here. That's how much to the left of data it's looking at here. Okay, so let's go to the subgraphs tab, and you'll see that the background also says SG1 in brackets. That is what the color of the background is, and you'll notice that the color is red, but you'll also see that the color I'm using is actually not really red. And the reason is because my draw style, I've put it on a background to be transparent, and then down the bottom right hand side there's a number here for the transparency level. So I've got it on 85% transparent. Maybe if I did it on 95%, you'll see that it's barely visible now. If that was on 0, it would go to a solid red color, which is just too bold for me. So I wanted to make it slightly less bold. And you can maybe go and find that color in here, by changing the, that would probably also do the same sort of thing for you. However you want to do it, you can either choose a solid color by just I'm trying to think what that is. It's probably just trying to recall this is background, so you would just literally change it back to background color. There's quite a lot of options that you can do to choose here how you want things to be. There's background there, and all these different things will change the way that this overlay will look. Some will work, some won't, so play around with those, but I chose background transparent, so I can use this option down here. So let's go to put that to 95%, so it's very, very light, and we'll do the same on our buy mode as well. So you can see it's background transparent. It started its life off as a light green, which would look like that. Again, it's too bold for my eyes. Just that change makes my eyes go a bit funny. So I changed it to 85, which was this, but let's just maybe make that 95, just so we can change the color. There we go. Alright, so that's the background transparent overlay changed a little bit. And also let's just take a look at these VWAP deviation high and deviation low bands. At the moment they look like they're dashed. I think this might even be the same, but we'll check that. I'm going to make those lines instead of dashes, so let's just go right click, studies. Now that indicator is called the volume weighted average price. It's a standard indicator which comes as part of your Sierra charts installation. It's right there, look. Okay, so that's just one of those that I already have added on as part of my template file that we did in a previous video. So let's just go into that one. That's the one I already have. Double click in there, and you'll see that only 3 lines have been drawn and the rest of them don't have anything. You can have various other lines if you want. So I've got a VWAP line in the middle, shows that the draw style is a line, and then the top band and the bottom band are actually dashes. So I'm going to turn those to lines, and it just makes them a little bit better. You can also see that the lines are quite thick, the deviation bands are quite thick. I want to maybe make those a little bit thinner, maybe change the width of those lines to 1. So see where you can find that number. Did you see it? Exactly right, just change those numbers to be whatever you like. There we go, and it changes them. Alright, so that looks a little bit better. Is there anything else that we want to change real quick while we're here? Maybe I just want to make those arrows stand out a little bit more, just maybe make them move away from the price a bit more. So there's the down arrow, there's the up arrow. So let's start with the down arrow first. It's a width of 5. It's a down arrow, it's black. That's pretty much all we need to know. There's logic on this arrow, but we're not going to go into the logic, the calculations. We'll look at those later. And this is how the arrow is drawn. So it's drawn 20,000 bars worth of data. It goes back. I'm not really too sure how to explain what use -1 on false means, other than it just, yeah, it's a behind the scenes setting. Output when condition is true, just use the data that we're giving it, the input data. The draw style percentage, so how many ticks or percentage away from the price do you want it to be? And currently I think it's set on 25. If I change that to 50, it does change. That's the 50% of the candle. So maybe we'll go to 100% just to really bring it up. See what difference that makes. Here you go, you can see some of them are really stuck out above price here. So I might just change that to, instead of it being a percentage offset, I'll do it based on the number of ticks offset. So it'll be 100 ticks above price action instead. Alright. And we'll do the same on the up arrow as well. And that's -25 because it's underneath price this time. And it's an up arrow. It's black. Width of 5, same as before. There's the logic. Again, we won't go into that in this video. We'll do that in the next one. And this one is going to be based on ticks as well, and let's say -100 ticks underneath price. Let's see what that does. Press apply, press OK, and there you go. You can see that it's just widened them out a little bit more. Alright. So that's how to kind of modify some of the settings that are in there. I wonder whether we can change the candle colors actually. I don't think I can in DTI. I think that has to be done in the code. Yeah, that has to be done in the code. Or maybe it doesn't. There we go. Buy candle, sell candle. I wonder if I can just turn that candle to red. I don't really like red as a sell color because I'm slightly colorblind, so I prefer bold colors, and red and green, I don't like red and green together. I struggle to see the difference. So what I might do is just maybe make that something like really different pinks. Okay, so you can actually do that. So if you want to change your buy candles and your sell candles to different colors, then you can do that. If you want to sell your VWAP warning candle, which is the yellow one, to a different color, then you can do that. Your regular candles, I think, are just based on whatever you choose. So for example, let's just come out of here, and you can see my different colored pink candles now. I think that's pink. There you go. So I've got some red and white candles in here. They're my regular candles. So I wonder if you can change those easily enough. I think you can just by going into the global graphics settings, and you can just change the colors in here. Candlestick up fill, white, candlestick down fill, is red, and that would be how you would change them. Alright? And you can change the color of your background and all of that sort of stuff too, because you've just taken the details from my system, or, you know, my config settings that I gave you in the last video. So hopefully they were useful for you. So that gives you an idea of how to change the layout and setup of your Sierra charts a little bit more, and how to adjust the settings of this template or this strategy. But I'm going to bring it back to how it was, because that's what I like. So that's me reset, and in the next video we're going to take a look at some of the logic behind the overlays here and the arrows to see how they're drawn, and if we want to change them, how we can do that. See you in the next one.